What does that look like? How do you elect that? Who do you choose to be your power of attorney? What the hell is power of attorney? How does it all work, Ted?
Yeah, no problem. It's actually a useful thing that you can use, both in selling a property and also in purchasing a property without having to physically be at the closing. You can appoint somebody. That's basically what it is. It's a power of attorney is really where the individual who would be the buyer or would be the seller would be appointing someone to stand in their shoes and sign documents on their behalf at a closing. If you couldn't make it for some reason or another. And when you're dealing with a sale of a property, it's different than when you're dealing with a purchase. And when you're dealing with a sale, as long as we know that really the key thing is with all the underwriters, as long as we know that individual is still coherent and knows what they're doing, knows that they're selling a property, then what the underwriters will typically want is they want the power of attorney to be signed and the deed to be signed by the principal, to the whoever they choose to appoint. Sometimes you get a situation where a power of attorney has been in existence, and somebody says, it's inconvenient for the seller rather, to show up to a closing, let's just use the power of attorney. Well, it's not just as simple as that. You first of all, in order to do that, we need to have underwriter approval to review the power of attorney and make sure that it says what it needs to say, and then we'd have to get the original to record in the public records. So in certain circumstances, and in those circumstances, you want to send, if they're coherent, you want to send the power of attorney to the person, have it signed for closing because it has to be specific. It gets sent back with the deed, and then the attorney, in fact, the person that's been appointed, sign any other documents for that sale.
Matt, is it so? So with what Ted was saying, it seems like it's more common for a seller to be a power of attorney, but you can, as someone obtaining a mortgage, can't they elect somebody for power of attorney if they're going in and purchasing a home out of state?
Yeah, they can. It's getting more and more common now. I would recommend that if a power of attorney is going to happen, that they get it done as soon as possible in the process. All of the documents that a buyer would see at the closing table, they've seen before in the process, and it's just the final package that they're signing off on and adjusting. So with us, a lot of the documents are signed electronically, especially our closing package. Half of it used to be everything was signed with a pen at the closing, but since times have been changing and the guidelines have been changed to allow for electronic signature, the majority of our package gets signed electronically, and then there's only a very short stack of papers that need to be signed with a pen that need to be recorded with the town. So the buyers can still see all of the stuff that they need to in order to feel comfortable with closing electronically, and then the official ones can be signed off by the attorney. But because of Ted's logistics, there it has to be sent back, it has to be notarized, it has to be approved. It takes a better part of a week, to do it properly and without stress.